celebrate Thanksgiving, didn't we, Steve?
We sure did. It was a lot of fun. It was great to see relatives.
Yeah, we posted the food on a short, and this is the first time we've been on a trip, and I didn't get any weight. Did you?
No, I didn't get any weight either, and that is very strange. I think we're really vigilant about watching what we eat.
Well, I always said it was those free breakfasts at the hotels. It was all the carbs at those breakfasts, and this time we made a point of not eating carbs at breakfast. That was one thing, and then I didn't really eat dinner Thanksgiving. I know I was kind of hungry, but after that big lunch, I didn't want to eat dinner, but I did have some dessert.
And that was funny. I didn't have any desserts, but it was just funny how I searched out all the non-carb stuff and had some ham and some turkey, and somebody had brought mixed vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, and mushrooms, and that was so good. I couldn't stop eating it.
And we brought the vegetable tray.
Right, yeah, we had 2 vegetable trays, and that was real good.
Today, we're talking about the results of our sleep study.
Yes, and that's very important, having a follow-up to our sleep studies, since we both have sleep apnea.
We were diagnosed 5 years ago, but because we both lost weight, we were able to get another sleep study about a month ago or so.
Right.
And the results were sent to us instantly, but they were in medical jargon, and we did not understand any of it, did we?
Right. No, and it was more than just medical jargon. It was like a readout from the machines and
the numbers, and the apnea, number of
It was
apneas, and how your breath.
It was just too hard.
It was very detailed and complicated, so we had to wait till the appointment, and I think it took almost a month to get an appointment, didn't it?
Oh yeah, it sure did.
So yeah.
And we did a video appointment. We did them, of course, separately. And so that was exciting.
We had complications too. Actually, mine was a phone call, because even though we had the video appointment originally, this time it said that the iPhones were giving problems.
Yeah.
So he called me, which was fine. Now Steve's was funny because I was listening and it was like 2 seconds. Okay, you doing okay, man? Yeah, okay, catch you later. And I said, no, you gotta get some details. Don't hang up. No, that's why you need a wife there. Guys,
an advocate.
Guys are just quick, I said, no, you need to know about the pressure. Do we need to change the pressure? You need to know about the mask. You need to know, come on, once every 5 years. So, Steve, you had lost some weight.
30 pounds since I started sleep apnea treatment.
And so when you got your first assessment 5 years ago, you stopped breathing 42 times an hour. That was severe.
So think about that. That was stop breathing. Okay, let that sink in. Stop breathing. So you actually stopped filling your lungs with air 40 some times an hour. That means your brain's not getting oxygen. Your lungs are not getting oxygen. Your heart's not getting oxygen. 42 times an hour.
Your bones are not
Yes,
rebuilding.
and so you're not breathing. And that obviously causes problems.
And on our one video, I think the first one, before we showed the sleep study test, I think the test the video that we talked about sleep apnea, we list at the end all the potential health complications you can have from being undiagnosed. Sleep
apnea is very serious. When you stop breathing 42 times an hour, that's pretty serious. And that affects your daily functions. So, people who will eat and then sit on the couch and fall asleep. Well, some of that is from overeating, but even if you've been overeating, you shouldn't be falling asleep. That's not right.
Well, Steve, you stepped off to the basement at Thanksgiving. Did you fall asleep downstairs?
No, I didn't. And that's the thing, is that I was around people who fell asleep.
Really?
Yes, but I didn't fall asleep. And that's, in the past, I would have been out like a light.
Well, that's when everybody knows that you probably have sleep apnea. It's Thanksgiving when relatives know that there's an issue. Now, I never fell asleep, so people were surprised when I was being tested. I didn't have the typical symptoms.
Right. And so when you do have a CPAP machine and you understand what sleep apnea is all about, you're able to think clearer. You're able to stay awake a whole day from the time you wake up till the time you go to sleep, and you don't take naps. So I mean, it's quite different when you're having your sleep apnea treated than to just let it consume you.
Okay, but it was 42 5 years ago. You lost 30 or so pounds. Now, what was your reading?
21.
Cut in half.
21.
Cut in half.
So that's 21 times an hour. I would stop breathing from 21 times an hour, okay, versus 42 times an hour.
Which still sounds high, but it is no longer severe. It is now moderate.
Right. So 42 times an hour stop breathing was 30 pounds heavier and without a CPAP machine. With a CPAP machine and losing 30 pounds, it's now 21 times an hour.
I'd like to clarify what Steve said. He did not use the CPAP during the exam. If you do, you have to retake it. As we showed in the test, we used a watch and something on our finger, but we didn't have anything over our nose or mouth. So some people may try to use their CPAP machines, but you are not supposed to. He's saying that because he used a CPAP for 5 years, that helps us lose weight without getting your sleep under control. It's very challenging to lose weight. So the use of a CPAP for 5 years plus losing the weight reduced the number of apneas, which is stop breathing. I hear Ava moving around. She's back home. Yay, Ava. And she's trying to get in our videos again, like always.
She was on vacation for the holiday, and it was exciting for her. I mean, she went to see her sisters, and I would assume they had Thanksgiving meal.
Come up here. Can you jump up? I have lost 37 pounds since the sleep study. I actually gained over 10 pounds after getting diagnosed. So altogether I've lost close to 50, but they told me my weight when we did the sleep study and my weight today, and it was about 37 pounds. So losing 37 pounds, my original diagnosis was 19 times an hour, and I was moderate. So that's just below what Steve is now. And they do the pressure on your CPAP based on the number of times you stop breathing. So Steve had a higher pressure than I had. Now, after losing 37 pounds, I am down to 7.
Wow.
And normal is under 5.
Wow.
So I am so close to normal.
That's big.
So I was told I have 3 options. One, he said I could just totally quit using my CPAP, but I am not normal. So that sounds a little dangerous to me to quit using my CPAP, because that's 2, 3, it's I should have 4 to be normal. That's 3 over every hour times 8 hours a night times number of days in a month times a year. That sounds a little dangerous when you know all the effects on your heart, lungs, liver, bones.
Brain.
That doesn't sound safe. Okay, so option 2, he said we could adjust the pressure, because I've been having a terrible time with my mask. Since I've lost the weight, I just cannot get the mask to fit anymore. Any of them. I've gone through numerous masks. It's been a nightmare. So we did lower the pressure, but he, at the same time, and he did this over the remote. I just gave him the serial number. And at the same time, he adjusted my sensitivity so the machine would come on sooner. I'm not sure why. So now I'm having, with the machine, I have less than 1 episode per hour. But since he's adjusted that, I have about 5 an hour. So I need to contact them and see if we need to do something again, because I don't know if it's healthy or not healthy to have 5 an hour with the machine. but I've been having some difficulty with my mask again. I don't know. This is like losing weight. This is a daily challenge to get your mask good, because even when you get it good, then the straps stretch out and they may not fit totally right. Okay, so those are two options. Option 3, well, I can go to a dentist who is sleep apnea certified and get a specialized mouth guard. So he gave me a referral to 2, and also at the same time another woman called from our insurance, and she said that the mouth guard is $1,200 and they will pay 0. That's our good insurance that we're paying so much each month for. They will pay 0 for this. It is a medical dentist, not under dental, but it's under your medical insurance. Because we have not met our deductible, I would pay $1,200 totally out of pocket. Now, I would love to get rid of my machine. The machines are $1,200. A mask today is like $125 to $150. You have to change it every 6 months. You have to get a tube that is $10 to $40. You have to get air filters, humidifier. It's quite expensive to have the CPAP machine, and I really don't like using it. The problem is we're switching insurance in January. So if I go to this dentist, I won't be able to get follow-up because it's under medical. So I'm thinking I'm going to the dentist tomorrow, and I'm going to ask her if she knows somebody, and since it's out of pocket, I'm going to see if we just cannot go through insurance, or when I get my new insurance, go through that insurance. And how long will this mouth guard last? Is it going to last 1 year, 5 years? You know, so there's a lot of things to consider there. Right now, we've invested in the machine. I'm going to continue to use it, even though I'm struggling a little bit with the mask.
Yeah, and I'm going to keep using my machine because it's very, you get used to it after a while, and you can't go to sleep without it. I mean, it really, when you put your mask on and it does fit correctly, then you kind of feel like you're in a cocoon, and I find that, and I fall asleep, and you know, I usually stay asleep all night long and don't wake up. I can usually get 7-8 hours depending on what time I go to bed.
Okay, but I do want to clarify some things, and again, we're not medical professionals. I believe I've had sleep apnea my entire life. I believe it was probably mild originally, and once you get older, your muscles weaken, and eating the wrong foods made it worse. But a lot of people always said, if you just lost that weight, you wouldn't have sleep apnea. Well, here I lost the weight. I am in the normal range. Some people think I don't weigh enough, even though I don't agree with them. Some people think I've lost too much weight. Some people have been asking me if I'm sick when they've seen me after several years. They're kind of concerned because they said you've lost too much weight. But I am definitely I am definitely in the normal range. I am not overweight at all, and I still have sleep apnea. President Biden has sleep apnea. He is totally thin. But if you have sleep issues, how are you going to lose the weight? Because your body's not able to lose the weight if you're not sleeping. And you're also too tired to exercise if you're not sleeping. So it's a vicious cycle. So I would say I've had it my whole life because I've always fallen asleep as soon as my head hit the pillow from childhood. I've always done that. And that's not actually healthy.
No, it's not. You're supposed to be able to lay in bed for about 15 minutes before you fall asleep. And if you fall asleep any sooner, then there is some issue.
So even though I lost the weight, I still have it. They say it's genetic, so we've told all of our siblings, all my siblings and Steve's siblings, that we have it, and encourage them to get tested even if they are thin. Like I've said in previous videos, I think it should be part of a standard physical. I mean, you do a colonoscopy at, what is it, 45 now, right? Why wouldn't sleep apnea be standard at 45?
Right,
Because I mean, in addition to the problems we mentioned, there's diabetes and other issues. Now, he did tell me, if I do quit using my machine, he said I do need to monitor my blood pressure every day, my blood sugars, and my weight. And I said, well, our doctor wouldn't allow us to get a blood sugar test again after our one that showed that we're normal. She would not order one for another year. So I guess he was talking about the home blood sugar kit, which I don't really know. See, I'm not educated enough to know what the range is. I mean, he told me a lot of people he works with don't use their machines. They get them and don't use them. I think there's not enough education on these machines, because I know when we got ours 5 years ago, we didn't get any support. And I went on YouTube to find out how to use it, how to make it easier. they are a big learning curve, and I believe Steve had an easier time than me because he's always slept on his back, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean,
side.
I've
Sleep on my side.
and that doesn't bother you with your mask, sleeping on your side?
No, I mean, whether I sleep on my back, stomach, or side, I still have an issue where it slides down because I have no hair. But go ahead.
Okay, so
Sleep on my side.
because I've always wanted to sleep on my stomach my whole life. It was a real big adjustment to sleeping on my back. If I go on my side, I get a lot of marks. Because I sleep on my left side, I get all marks here. So I try not to sleep on my side, but it is a big adjustment.
They say you should sleep on your left side.
But I get marks on my side.
Right, but that's what they say because for your stomach also.
No, because Steve has this beard, his marks don't show up as much as my marks, so he's keeping his beard. He's keeping his beard. I guess with a lot of men, I don't know. I think they probably, right, don't show up with your beard. But anyway, the point here is, take care of yourself. Be healthy. If you think there's an issue, get tested. If you don't have insurance, there's a test online for $179, and you could order all the machine and things. And I know I've seen the machine as cheap as like $420, but that's because they were able to adjust my machine with the serial. They're updating their technology, so that's why the machines are so cheap. So you could get one for $420. You just won't be able to have somebody adjust it remotely.
Absolutely. And also, if you have a partner that notices that when you're sleeping, you stop breathing, take it seriously. I mean, I know it's cumbersome to put a mask on, to use a sleep machine or CPAP machine at night and remember it every night. But you know something, it can save your life. And I know that's no joke, okay? It can save your life. And just briefly, the way a CPAP machine works is that when you stop breathing, it starts forcing air. So it forces air into your nose, and that way it keeps air in your system until you start breathing again. Okay, and so it's important that air, oxygen, is continually running through your body. I mean, it sounds so simple and it sounds kind of humorous, but it's true. And if you stop breathing long enough, it will cause damage.
Like I said, my symptoms were different than the typical. I was so dizzy that I was walking with a cane. So if you've seen any of our hiking videos, the last 3 that were strenuous, we are so proud, because I think back to me walking with a cane. Right. Before I got my CPAP 5 years ago, I was walking with a cane. It was really embarrassing. I was so dizzy, I just felt like I was gonna fall constantly. And now we're doing these strenuous hikes, and we've lost weight, and we're so much healthier than we were 5 years ago. I remember we traveled 5 years ago to the same place. We took a similar vacation 5 years ago to Bristol, Virginia.
Yes.
And of course it rained, but I remember we came out the side door of the hotel, and I thought we looked fine, but I think we must have looked pretty bad because a man who was doing work in the landscaping ran over and tried to take our bags from us. And do you remember that?
No.
I was so embarrassed. I was like, our bags are on wheels. And I was so embarrassed. I was like, no, we don't need help. I'm wondering how bad we looked 5 years ago.
Wow.
And then now we're just in and out, able to move around, take our own luggage. You know, people look at you differently. I think we were a target because we looked weak. We were overweight. We were walking slow. Mm-hmm. We were walking slowly. We were a target. And now we look, sprier, younger, healthier.
Exactly. So your health is important. If you want to continue to live, your health is important. And so you really have to watch every aspect of that. So your food, your exercise, your sleep, you have to take all of that into consensuation in order to live joyfully or age joyfully.
Well, also your mental,
yes.
Your mental, because not getting that oxygen to your brain,
mm-hmm.
I saw that I couldn't think as clearly.
Right.
Because I was working at a school, and they used to, everybody, people thought I was smart, so they'd give me stacks of tests to grade with like sometimes without a key. But this one had a key, but I wasn't doing it very quickly. I remember this 5 years ago, I just wasn't, and they were like looking at me like they wanted me to do it a lot faster, and I was like, I just wasn't as fast as.
Well, you have low energy. You know,
well, I couldn't think as fast.
And you can't think clearly.
Yeah, and now we played games Thanksgiving, and we were like right on it with the answers, playing games of those, guessing those word games, those good. So I encourage everyone, if you have any signs at all, or even if you're just 45, or if it runs in the family, or if you have high blood pressure or diabetes, not even don't have the sleep signs, but the high blood pressure. That was my first sign when I was in my 40s, but I didn't know. I know that's when my blood pressure started to creep up a little bit, because I've always had low blood pressure. It started to creep up when I think when we were moving so many times and I was stressed out, and and when that starts creeping up, then I wasn't getting the sleep, then I started gaining the weight. It's just a cycle. But I wasn't knowledgeable. And grinding my teeth was another sign, and no one told me. No one told me. So that's why we want to share our experience with you. So if you have any of these signs, that you could get the help before it's too late. I mean, I've known people who've died in their sleep, and I just always wonder, of heart attacks, I always think, well, did they really have undiagnosed sleep apnea that caused that heart attack?
Yeah, I mean, it's serious. It's very serious. So consider it. Definitely, if you have any inclination that you're not breathing or getting a good night's sleep,
or snoring, if you are snoring, that is not
if you're snoring and you have a big neck. When I got diagnosed with sleep apnea, my neck size was 19, and that's pretty big.
I don't remember what mine was, and they couldn't tell me, but if it's over 16 for a woman, that's a sign. And mine today is 12, and I don't have any idea what it was 5 years ago.
And mine's about 16. And so it's important that you get tested.
If it's over 17 for a man or 16 for a woman, that's a sign. But also, getting up to use the restroom in the middle of the night, that is not normal. Even one time. If you're doing 1, 2, 3 times.
Yeah, you should sleep solid. You know, whether it's your 5 hours or 6 hours or 7 hours, you should sleep continuously, not wake up in the middle of the night.
What I've heard from other videos, other experts perhaps, they said that you wake up because you stop breathing, and then you realize there's urine in your bladder. It's not the urine that's waking you up. It is the
It's because you stop breathing. And then people who stop breathing and then they jerk.
But you don't have to jerk. You don't have to jerk.
No, but some people do. They jerk,
or they twitch, their legs make twists.
Right, because they're gasping for breath.
And so a lot of people who sleep alone may not be aware. I mean, I wasn't aware that I snored. Steve never told me till after I got the CPAP, but I had told him for years that he snored. That's another thing. More women tell their husbands, but the husbands don't tell their wives, is what I've heard from other videos.
Yes. Yep. So stay healthy. Do what you can to lose weight, exercise. Make sure you get good night's sleep.
But I don't know that you can lose weight if you're undiagnosed sleep apnea. I mean, it was very hard for us. We've just reached 500 subscribers. Thank you for subscribing and watching. Please share this particular video. Please share with your sleepy friends.
Your sleepy friends.
Until we see you again.
Take it easy.